Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe my channel. The first photograph appeared on a Tuesday, a grainy, long lens shot of her laughing, head thrown back, on a restaurant patio. The man across from her was a blur, but Ilara's smile was captured in perfect, damning clarity. By Wednesday, the digital storm had broken. Her phone buzzed like a trapped hornet, sliding across the polished marble of her kitchen island. Headlines screamed variations of the same question: who is he? Her publicist's name flashed on the screen, a persistent, pulsing reminder of a narrative spiraling out of her control. For weeks, Ilara had existed in a strange, silent purgatory. The final divorce papers were a fresh, stark signature at the bottom of a long, painful document. The house, once filled with the echoes of a shared life, was now just a beautifully staged collection of rooms. Silence had become her loudest companion. That dinner had been a rebellion against the silence. A single normal evening with an old friend who remembered her not as part of a fractured we, but as just Ilara. The laughter had felt foreign and exhilarating on her tongue, a forgotten flavor. Now, the world was dissecting that moment of lightness, turning it into a sordid headline. She closed the browser tab, the comments seared onto the back of her eyelids. So soon. Moving on fast, isn't she? No wonder the marriage fell apart. A familiar, cold weight settled in her chest. It was the feeling of being interpreted, packaged, and sold without her consent. They painted her as either a heartless villain, callously moving on, or a desperate grieving widow to a marriage that ended long before the paperwork was finalized. There was no room for the messy, complicated truth. The truth was a mosaic of quiet grief for a future that would never be, mixed with a trembling, terrifying sense of possibility. It was the relief of no longer fighting a silent war in a king-size bed, tangled with the fear of sleeping in it alone forever. It was wanting to feel seen and being terrified of the spotlight when it finally found her again. Her hand hovered over her social media app, the cursor blinking in the empty composition box. She could deny it. She could clarify. She could post a carefully worded statement crafted by her publicist, full of polite requests for privacy and vague acknowledgments of a healing journey. But the words felt like ash. Instead, she stood and walked to the large window overlooking her garden. The late afternoon sun gilded the leaves of the oak tree she had planted years ago, a sapling of hope when everything felt permanent. It was taller now, its roots dug deep, having weathered storms she never could have predicted. She thought of that dinner, of the simple, uncomplicated conversation. It wasn't a declaration. It was a breath, a single tentative gasp of air after being submerged for so long. She would not let them define this chapter for her. She would not let them turn a moment of human connection into a symbol of anything other than what it was: a small, brave step out of the silence. Turning from the window, she picked up her phone. She ignored the dozens of notifications and opened her camera roll. She scrolled past the curated professional photos until she found one she'd taken just that morning. It was a close-up of her new oak sapling, a replacement for the one that had been damaged in a storm last winter. It was small, vulnerable, but stubbornly green, its leaves reaching for the sun. She posted the picture. No caption, no explanation. Just a single, living, growing thing. Let them speculate. Let them whisper. She was done providing a script. The narrative was hers to write, one quiet, unobserved breath at a time. The real story wasn't who she was seen with. It was who she was becoming when no one was watching at all.